The Mental Health Awareness Week theme for this year is take time, take a breath, take notice. And we can do that immediately in our daily lives. We can just take the time to pause every now and then, bring our attention to the breathing, maybe just take 3 mindful breaths, and then open our senses and look around, listen, see what's happening in our immediate environment, and then let it go and go back to our daily tasks. And that might only take a minute of your time, and you can do that regularly through the day and start to value that as a practice. Mindfulness really is about really engaging with our lives as they're happening from moment to moment to moment. And the reality is that our lives only ever take place in this moment. And thinking about the future, reflecting on the past isn't a bad thing at all. You know, we have to do that. We have to make plans. But the reality is that often it's not so ordered as that. Generally, when we're thinking about the future or thinking about the past, we get caught up in those stories, and we get caught up to the point where they kind of consume all of our attention, and we fail to recognize everything else that's happening in this moment. So we lose touch with what's happening in our bodies, we lose touch with what's happening through our senses. And the question is, how much of our lives do we live on autopilot? How much of our lives are we actually missing? As John Lennon once sang, life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. So this is what mindfulness is about. It's about really valuing our lives and turning up for them. Mindfulness is about turning up for your life. Generally, mindfulness practice has been shown to reduce stress levels, reduce anxiety levels, help to prevent relapse into depression, and to really enhance a sense of well-being. You know, the first priority of mindfulness has always been about mental well-being. You know, we need to conceive of mindfulness in the widest sense of the term as well. So it's not just about turning up for our lives and taking notice of what's happening in my body and in my mind, but it's more about turning up for life. So when our children run up to us with something important to say, and it's always important what they have to say, are we taking notice? Are we taking the time to pause and to engage with what they have to say? So, you know, you can call it mindfulness, you can call it taking notice. Essentially, I think it's the same thing.